Hello children. In Geography Class 6 Lesson 2, Globe, Latitude and Longitude, I'm going to start part 2. Here, two diagrams I'm showing. One is for latitude, one is for longitude. Now, have you seen some circular lines here in the first diagram? Those circular lines we can say as latitude, or another term we can use that is parallel. Second diagram, have you seen some semicircles joining the pole, north and south pole? These are called longitude, or another term we can use meridian. What are latitudes? The imaginary circular lines from the equator up to the poles are called parallels of latitudes. So parallels of latitudes or parallels, simply we can say same meaning it will come out. And the definition, if question comes, let's suppose what are parallels, the same definition you have to write. Or what are parallels of latitude, this definition only you have to write. The imaginary circular lines, so these are the circular lines but imaginary, that means in real art we cannot see these lines, that's why the term imaginary we are using. And from the equator up to the poles, these are actually located from covering the from equator towards the pole, both the pole, north or south pole. Latitudes are measured in degrees. There are total 181 parallels. The equator represents the 0 degree latitudes. Equator is a very important reference point to locate places on the earth. So these latitudes, total 181 parallels are there, including equator. And equator represents 0 degree from where the counting starts. After 0 degree, 1, 2, 3 up till 90 degree north, 90 or up till 90 degrees south, it will be 90. So 90 plus 90, 180 plus equator, it will 181 parallels are there. And this equator is very important. Why? Because to locate any places, we have to take the help of this equator. Okay. Now I'm showing in this diagram all the circle or the parallels not possible to show, so some of the parallels only here it is shown. 0 degree, that is equator in the middle, all of you see 0, this is degree. From 0 to 90 degree north, 90, and from 0 to 90 degrees south, total 90 parallels. 90 plus 90, 180, then equator it will be 181. So equator divides the earth into two equal halves. Already I have told in the previous slides, northern and southern hemisphere. Now these two equal halves means northern part of equator we can say northern hemisphere, and southern part of equator we can say southern hemisphere. Now north latitude and south latitude, these two terms you have learned in the book. So what are called north latitudes? See, this is equator 0 degree. Again, I'm showing from 0 to 90 degree north pole. Okay, 90 degree north means north pole. Total 90 parallels are there, which we can say as north latitudes. And N, you see this N in short form, capital N we are using for north latitudes. Then from 0 degree to south pole. Okay, total 90 parallels or the latitudes are there, which we can say as south latitude, or we can write it degree. This term is degree and S. Okay, capital S. Parallels of latitude. You see the definition. All parallels north of the equator are called north latitudes. That is within bracket N, capital N. All parallels south of the equator are called south latitudes. This is capital S. The 90 degree N means north, marks the north pole. 90 degree S or south marks the south pole. Now total 7 important parallels. So don't be confused. The total I have given important parallels, not the total parallels. Okay, so total 7 important parallels are there, and these are North Pole, South Pole, Tropic of Cancer, Tropic of Capricorn, Equator, Arctic Circle, and Antarctic Circle. See these important parallels I am showing. North Pole first, 90 degree north in this point. This is actually one point. Arctic Circle 66.5 degree or 66 and half degree, same. N, North. Now this one line circle you see, this line actually showing Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degree or 23 and half degree, same thing. N. Equator 0 degree, again Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degree or 23 and half degrees south. Then this is Antarctic Circle 66.5 degrees south, and this is last one, South Pole. It's a point actually, 90 degrees south. So these are only important parallels. Total 7 important parallels are there. Now, very important topic, that is heat zones of the earth. So all the 7 important parallels I have discussed in the previous that slide I have shown, and they actually uh, show, that means they form the heat zones of the earth. Total 3 heat zones are there: torrid, temperate, and frigid zones. So torrid zone, if we say the torrid zone, where the torrid zone lies. So this torrid zone actually, it lies in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. I'll show in the diagram. And this region receives maximum heat. Why maximum heat? Due to direct sunlight. So in this zone, direct sunlight, it falls. The midday sun exactly overhead at least once a year on all the latitudes in between Tropic of Cancer and Tropic of Capricorn. And this area therefore receives the maximum heat, which is very, you can say that was, that's why the torrid zone is very, means hot. Temperate zone. Actually, two temperate zones are there. One zone lies in the northern hemisphere, one zone in the southern hemisphere. Okay, and this region receives moderate heat. Why moderate heat? Indirect sunlight, due to indirect sunlight. Okay, sunlight doesn't fall directly. Okay, I'm showing this temperate zone in the diagram. Frigid zone, it receives very less heat. Very less heat. Why very less heat? Due to the more indirect sunlight. Due to the slanting sunlight, you can say, very less heat only it receives. Okay, now see the diagram. This diagram, torrid zone in between Tropic of Cancer. This is Tropic of Cancer and this is Tropic of Capricorn. In between this area, we can say torrid zone. So where direct sunlight fall. And now in the northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere, both the hemisphere temperate zone, have you seen? In the northern hemisphere, this zone we can say north temperate zone, and southern hemisphere, this temperate zone we can say south temperate zone. But this is same temperate zone only, but northern side we can say north temperate and southern side south temperate. Okay, next come to frigid zone. Okay, this temperate zone lies in between this Tropic of Cancer. You see the diagram, Tropic of Cancer, and this is Arctic Circle. And in the south, Tropic of Capricorn, this line, and this line, Antarctic Circle. In between these two important parallel, the south temperate zone lies. Now come to frigid zone, and frigid zone you see in the northern hemisphere one zone, southern hemisphere another zone. That means two frigid zone. Northern hemisphere north frigid zone, southern hemisphere south frigid zone. And in northern hemisphere, this frigid zone lies in between Arctic Circle and North Pole. And in southern hemisphere, this frigid zone lies in between South Pole and Antarctic Circle. So these are the mainly three heat zones. Okay, the torrid zone, temperate and frigid. But this temperate zone we can divide into again north and south, frigid zone also north and south in this way. Now come to longitudes. What are longitudes? The imaginary semicircular lines joining two poles are called meridians of longitudes. These longitudes are also measured in degrees, and there are total 360 meridians of longitudes. Prime meridian is measured as 0 degree longitudes, and this prime meridian, through which it passes, there is a place in, you can say London, the in Greenwich. Through Greenwich only this meridian passes, and there one observatory it is there. We can say that is British Royal Observatory. And through this place, one meridian we can imagine, which is called prime meridian, and it is also measured as 0 degree longitude. The prime meridian and 180-degree meridian divide the earth into two equal halves, eastern and western hemisphere. So already another two hemisphere you have got. Who divides the earth? That is equator. Divides the earth into two hemisphere, that is northern and southern. Now again you have got prime meridian along with 180-degree meridian. Why along with 180-degree meridian? Because prime meridian alone it cannot divide the earth, because it is semicircular line. If 180-degree semicircular line, both the semicircle, if joined, it will become one great circle, which can divide the earth into two equal parts, and that is only eastern and western hemisphere. 180-degree east and 180-degree west, though we count differently east and west, but this 180-degree east and west meridian, actually these are not two meridians, this is only one meridian. You can see the same line. So eastern and western hemisphere I'm showing here in the second picture. This is actually northern and southern hemisphere. Already this about this we have to discuss. Now you see in the second diagram, here prime meridian in the middle, it was there along with 180-degree, that opposite meridian. It divides the earth into two equal parts. Eastern side we can say eastern hemisphere, and western side western hemisphere. I'm showing with the this arrow mark. At last we have seen that grid, that means latitude and longitude. Whatever line you have got, latitude means the circular line and longitude the semicircular lines, and they only form the grid. Grid, it is a network of parallels of latitudes and meridians of longitudes, which is very helpful to locate any places. If we want to locate any place on the globe easily, so we have to take help of the grid, means latitudes and longitudes. We have to take help of the this grid. So in your book, figure 2.7, you'll learn. If you see the, I'll give all the pictures. If you don't have the book, from there only you can find out that one small little picture it is given in your book to make you understand how we can locate the different places. Okay, so in that figure very clearly it is given, it's very easy, and there are actually a b c d like that, some numbering it is given, and to make you understand those are actually name of the places how we can locate. Okay, a b c d e, that those capital letter, those are actually they are indicating the latitudes, and 1 2 3 4, those numbers they are using for the longitude. Okay, so that's only. Thanks for watching.